Thank you very much, Trace. Yes, Hugo, you're alongside me right now, or other Harry as he might now be referred to as. And I mean, what a game. What a game to start us off here, right? There's so much as we head into this to be taking into account. We got that fun situation with Cold and Yanko, you know, both having previously been a part of this MIBR squad and now sat on the other side of the fence.
Yeah, this music is getting me ready for the game, Harry. I am hyped up, and we're getting into Mirage. This is going to be a brawl. Great puggy map for two very explosive, very talented individual teams, and we're going to have to find out who will be this first victor to open up Season 10 of the ESL Pro League Finals. We'll ride into the pistol round. FaZe on that CT side, and MIBR, they're setting up for a B play, but triple stack here for the FaZe clan. They are going to be more than ready. It's actually not a B play. It's actually an underpass crawl with the bomb. They're going to be splitting A with utility being thrown from Fallen into B to fake it out. That's going to keep these rotations here, and it's all a fake.
Yeah, Olaf up in the connector, gonna spot that bomb there as they now show their head out in middle. Taco and Fur both finding openers here for MIBR, and FaZe suddenly throw it into this 3-on-5. They're lacking the manpower, the firepower in this one. Bomb plant's gonna come through. Rain trying to deny it from CT, but he just gets spammed on down, doesn't even really get a chance there. Brokey back in with one. But for him and Nico in a 2-on-4, I don't know if that's going to be enough.
I like how they didn't rush the bomb plant as well. Lucas almost got caught putting in the numbers, but he had cover on that A site, and Nico trying to draw himself back into this round. They might be able to. Brokey's found another kill coming in through jungle, and there's a kit as well on this man with a smoke. Bomb is open though, and Taco has a great position to hold on in the palace. He's still looking to win one of these duels before the CTs get into the site, but right now, smoke on the bomb. That gives FaZe a chance to stick the defuse. Brokey can just go wild. Taco, he's going to have to get out of the palace, but Nico's taking his head off, and Lucas is spamming. He doesn't know. The bomb defuse comes through, and FaZe clan take that pistol despite the kills from MIBR.
That was a 2-on-5 at one point in time in favor of MIBR, but somehow, some way, I thought for sure this was going to be the Brazilian squad getting off to a good start here on Mirage. But that is not the case, and now pistol round going the way of FaZe. Investment coming on in from either side. Important to note, Lucas, he's been throwing a Krieg, the rest of the gang cobbling together what they can. Fallen even saving a bit of extra cash to try and bring that AWP out as fast as he can.
Oh dear, there's no one on B here for FaZe. We've only got Cold, and he has no utility after throwing his solo smoke inside of the apartment. So MIBR, they could just burst in with these SMGs and get the bomb plant down. That can make things very difficult for FaZe. 4 players grouped up with KNG setting up flashbangs for this T side, and over to the right you can see our lovely observer, Rushley, getting ready to catch all the frags.
It's what he's so good at. And this round, Cole might make it easy for him here. Actually, it's Lucas to go ahead and get that trade, that Krieg. Now making its presence known in this round for MIBR. There's even a Famas down towards short that maybe they could try and get, but Nico's already gone out, gone wide, and has his prying eyes on this bomb site. Flash gets thrown out, but it's not going to force Nico off the angle. He'll instead just hold on back. FaZe clan looking for a way to get back into this, but Fallen, cracking shot there onto Olaf, and down goes the MP9. One at a time, FaZe are falling apart in this round, and the force buy from MIBR looks like it might be enough. Brokey's trying to get out of danger, but he can't get away from Fur, and it's only Nico. He might just about hold on to the M4, but that is going to be it for FaZe. MIBR, they are straight back in with a round.
Yeah, that's what you love to see as well. And a really nice execute from MIBR, right? They save so much utility for that post plant that by the time FaZe even get those rotations back towards B, the market's smoked off. I mean, Olaf can't find a kill on that apartment wrap. And as soon as Fallen gets that scout shot, you know the round is done. FaZe have lost their flank, and everyone else double set up towards the market. Nice, easy conversion from MIBR with that force buy. We're seeing so many T forces, turn out successfully nowadays, especially with that Krieg being so accessible as a T. Oh, that is a fancy camera angle, but right now it's FaZe forcing the issue back. Olaf saving money for the AWP, but everyone else on pistols and armor with this 1M4. MIBR showing some mid-control early, getting KNG into position with this AUG, but no one really contesting it from FaZe with the exception of that player on short, Cold, just giving it a bit of interest.
You mentioned Olaf saving for that AWP. That's something that I think is, a really good talking point for this this FaZe squad, right? If you remember in the Pro League back in the old regular season, Hugo, he comes into it and he was looking incredible, but it was kind of towards the end, and when some of the games felt like they were slipping through their fingers, it did feel like the pressure got to him a bit on the big green gun. So I'm really looking forward to see him try and bring it out early here, so we do get that eye test as to how Olof is looking on the AWP. This round, very, very slow from MIBR. They are really taking their time. They're waiting for someone on FaZe to test the waters, try and get aggressive. No one has, so eventually, 45 seconds left, MIBR, they can't wait forever. They're going to set up in the apartments and try and go for this B play.
Yeah, 3 CTs here as well, so FaZe have the numbers ready and waiting. Broky's first contact. He doesn't have armor, but it doesn't matter. Gets away with that frag onto Taco. Olof, significant damage onto the players dropping out, but they will find him successfully and get the site open for business. Bomb plant can be allowed, but Cole waiting in the wings. He gets another one. It's trading back and forth. MIBR just holding on to the advantage here, but they have to rush the bomb plant. And FaZe could push in through this smoke. Once they hear that go down, they will. Nico's in the site, and he's dropped both the players. FaZe on the board. Surely here, if KNG tries to save the day, but Nico locking in 3 kills off of that saved M4. 1 gun held on for FaZe in the previous round, and it does everything here.
And you're already hearing them get pretty loud, right? We just heard some yelling there as that round comes in. And I'm loving this. The fact that this is like a real, I think the Des did a great job. I think it was Davey saying, about how some matchups, right, you do go into it and it can feel a bit more personal. And we even heard that in the interview, right, as to how they're mainly going into this focused on their own game. But I think, we're starting off with a very, very back and forth matchup. There's a lot on the line. There's a lot of history between these two teams. And I mean, what a way for the game to begin, right? Now we've got another investment coming in from MIBR. It is these 4 Spy Wars to kickstart the first game here at the ESL Pro League Finals.
The question is when will they even stop, Harry? Because no one wants to be that team giving away eco rounds and giving a lead away for free. MIBR want to contest this until they can break the money of FaZe. But that's a question in and of itself, really. Galil and Krieg in round number 4 here for MIBR. FaZe far more well equipped, and we're going back to the A site here, this time a little bit faster. Great pace. Lucas is already out on top of the site, but he doesn't check default, and Rain gets away with 2. This MP9 absolutely shredding MIBR limb from limb, and there's no trade just yet. The Molly in the Palace keeps that player out of position, and KNG, he needs to come and activate, but he can't. Falling as well. Olof with 2 on the ramp, and now it is just KNG. I'm sure they've got the assumption that he's still here in the apartments. And they're even wrapping him to cut off his point of rotation. There's nowhere to go, nowhere to hide, and the bomb is down for the CTs.
And Olof here's KNG. He's going to be very aware that they could have pushed up at the ramp, so he will get rid of Olofmeister at least. It's whether or not he's ready for Broky. He's now taken up this forward position, and he is not. Broky will finish this round off, and it's going to be FaZe finally securing 2 rounds in a row. You can now breathe that little sigh of relief over on this CT side, knowing that you should have another free round coming on up, right? No money in those bank accounts for the MIBR side. They want to focus on a buy in the next round. Another thing that I think is important to note is early on, where they were taking some chances to save for that AWP, where they were looking to bring it out, that money isn't going to be there now for the T side. And that is not the case for FaZe over on their side of things. You can see Olof has a bit of residual cash, as does Cold. I imagine they're going to try and jiggle this money around to facilitate that AWP buy as fast as they can.
Yeah, it won't be here, but to go back onto that AWP conversation that you were picking up earlier, right? You said how Olof sometimes, if he gets off to slow starts, he can get in his head, he can have weak performances with that AWP, but luckily, alongside him, he's on a team where the AWPing power is just throughout everyone, really. We've seen Nico, Cold, and Broky pick up this AWP from time to time on this team, and that just adds a world of, of detail, a world of depth for FaZe. As, if someone's not feeling it, just hand it over to another guy. Broky can play it towards that B apartments, as he often does. But for now, it's FaZe sitting 3-1 up, back on the rifles, and for MIBR, it's just these default pistols. Couple of investments here and there, but we're not expecting too much in this round. Should just be FaZe's chance to really build up that money. So MIBR crawling in through underpass. No utility to get out onto A as well, so these rifles are really going to tear these players apart.
Oh, and that nade is so well timed. Nico has just already done so much damage in this round. He's even going to hear the tag, so he knows there's players out here in mid. And with all those kills coming in, the bomb now dropped. The chance for MIBR to find or do anything in this round is out the window, and it's only KNG left once again. Now, he has gotten out through Palace. He has actually gotten under scaffolding here, and FaZe aren't aware of that possibility, so maybe this could lead to KNG getting one, but I think the second they know where he is, and with control of that bomb in mid, the hope of this Deagle finding anything is slim to none. Nico, the one man who is low, is back in CT. KNG's just got to try and be ready for it, but he doesn't seem to account for that. And that will be FaZe, only losing one man there, getting their fourth on the board, and we're already seeing some great stuff from the likes of Nico, who's sat up top in the charts right now, 8-1.
I was going to say multiple 3Ks as well in some of these rounds. So obviously that one's an anti-eco, but even on the B site push when Fulham was planting for sure, Nico just diving through the market smoke and getting a triple there as well. He's up 8-1 right now, and that is what you love to see here for FaZe Clan. But the guns are out here for the Brazilians and their chance to get back on this T side. It's a split default here with a couple of players working out through mid. Olof in the window with the AWP as well. But with that top mid smoke, he doesn't want to peek out too wide and give away a kill. Just going to forbid mid for the time being. Players in the connector to burst out off the back of a flashbang if need be. There's a tag onto Fallen, but not the killing blow. Bomb going to be coming back through T-spawn towards A, and Fur's going to be lurking late out underpass as well. So this is going to be an A split, and only one man actually on the site to deal with that. That will be Rain.
Yeah, but this double con setup from FaZe might have just come in at the perfect time. MIBR moving into the connector. Cold and Nico, they both get picked up. Now, Fallen does accidentally remove one of his teammates. It's not the end of the world, though, because the rest of these kills are coming in the meantime. Olaf going to strike another from the tally. Finishes off Fallen, the man that he tagged earlier on in this round. Brings it into the realm of a 2-on-3. They're going to have to allow that bomb plant, as Brokey waits for Olaf to try and get into a bit of a better position here. No one's giving anything up to FaZe, though. And so I'm anticipating this is just going to be the save, right? While these two players have plenty of money, the rest of the team, that is just not the case. And so if you hold on to these, you can jiggle that money around. You can bring a full buyout into the next. MIBR, though, they will be arriving on that scoreboard once again with a second round now to their name. And in spite of all that early damage and what looked like the perfect setup from FaZe, right, MIBR do a good job of crunching their way up through the connector and taking minimal losses in the process.
Yeah, very aware of the setup there, right? We had a player tucked in that little left side connector corner, can often go unchecked, and you can get a lot of frags from that position. But yeah, Fur was on top of it, didn't let FaZe go down without a fight. And that's a second round taken from this T side. Obviously, as you say, that money saved, or the guns saved rather, for FaZe means they can still buy up into this and not let MIBR necessarily get back into this one too early on, but the building blocks are there here for the Brazilians. Nico, he's got a gun, few. Nice read from Taco as well on Rain's position inside of the site from the last round. He had that MP9 on default, couple of rounds prior, read by MIBR. Staying aware of the positions that FaZe like to play here, and back towards middle here for this T side once again. The AWP is not going to be combating it. Miss mid smoke, that's a bit of a problem here, as Olaf is going to have a chance to peek out if he wants, but with that smoke getting missed, MIBR just decide to bail. Lucas is going to leave, go back towards T-spawn and set up for this A side execute.
Yeah, both these, more so FaZe. I think MIBR have been anticipating a bit more aggression from their CT squad thus far. And they've never been getting it, so we've just seen a lot of these kind of, late round set pieces called from MIBR. As standard as they come, this one's just going to be one of these standard A-side plays with two players looking to get out from the Palace. Taco here leading the charge, has Lucas alongside him, and they'll go in dry. They haven't given anything to telegraph this push yet. Taco getting a lot of ground, finally dealt with there by Rain, as he does spot him trying to crawl under the scaffolding. Rain, they've got to deal with him. He's putting up more and more damage, and even as Fur gets that trade, it's not at a heavy cost, right? He gets brought down to just 10 points of health there with the dink from the M4. KNG bested over in middle. kill, and now Lucas and Fur with less than 100 points of health between the two of them in a 2 versus 4, and they think they've got the A bomb site. They think they've got it under lock and key. Brokey's gonna swing wide, and together with Nico, they make quick work of MIBR in that round.
Yeah, nice. Even Brokey waiting a second there before he peeks. He doesn't just peek initially off of the sound of the plant. He waits for his teammate to get into position to watch the Palace, get that trade onto Lucas when the swing comes in, and yeah, MIBR not going to be able to get that bomb down. That was almost really a requirement here for this T side. They're not going to be able to buy up with the money in this state, so they would have loved to get that extra $800 per player. Unfortunately, FaZe not giving them an easy way back in, and this 5-2 lead is really starting to build now for the CT side. Bit of a rough spot for MIBR to be in. Really just going to be expecting pistols and armor in this round for some of the players. And FaZe already finding confidence to start off this game.
I mean, obviously, everyone over on the desk put this one in favor of FaZe,
yeah.
right? I think, you know, you look at their recent performances, you look at how they've been in the server, and you can very much understand why, but you can never forget with this MIBR squad some of the runs, some of the history that these guys have made, right? And I think, especially considering that little revenge matchup between Cold and MIBR, this is a series I'm hoping and I'm expecting to go the distance. I think anything less than that, regardless of who picks it up, it's going to feel very disappointing.
It might be our four spot into this round as well. That's a big call to make, but these cheap Galils really do offer rifle rounds when they would otherwise not be apparent. It's a fast A play, and Rain again using this default box to his advantage. 2 kills, not the dink onto KNG this time, who will get a kill back into the round, and that's going to enable the plant as well. MIBR not waiting to get that bomb down. They put it immediately with these smokes. FaZe going to have to play in for retake now. They've got the kits, they've got the AWP, and plenty of utility to find these frags.
Yeah, KNG, the player with a Molotov, he's actually under scaffolding, so he's not in a position where he can really throw that in to try and deny the bomb plant. Instead, he's got to get all the kills, and he's only good for 1. It's Fallen, now dealing with Brokey, just Olaf left to find, but Olaf's going to catch him with the USP there through the edge of that smoke. No kit on Olaf, though, and there were kits around. He doesn't have enough time to grab the defuse. Just to his right, I'm pretty sure, inside of the bomb site, there was a kit, so bit of a shame there, bit of a perhaps a miscommunication from FaZe, but that's a little bit gut-wrenching considering, you know, there were kits in play. There was definitely the chance.
That's so unfortunate. Two out of those 3 players on the retake had kits. Both Nico and Brokey had them. Obviously, Nico dying on the ticket box, and then Brokey, as you said, inside of the site, right next to the bomb. In fact, Olaf, you know, we'd have to go back and see. I don't know if he would have had time, depending on the position of the kit, but it would have been damn close.
It almost seemed like one of those ones where if he went for the kit straight away and then goes for the defuse, it's fine. But because he's stuck on it for a second or two, it's like, I just don't have time, guys. I just don't have time.
Rather save the AWP than take the risk of going down with the bomb, right?
You know, one upside at least for FaZe is not only do they take the AWP out of that round, and that now allows them to reinvest, right? Olaf has already dropped a gun over, as we can see, thanks to this wonderful little HUD overlay. But you'll note that, you know, the money for MIBR, even though they get that round, it's not picture perfect, right? With everyone falling, everyone going down, you do still have Taco on a Galil in this one. The players that have upgraded onto those harder hitting rifles, they're very limited in terms of the utility. So for MIBR, one player, I was going to say that you really didn't want to fall early was Taco, but he's already thrown all of his utility in. He's already expended all of that into this A bomb site. The rest of MIBR have as well. So this is looking like a fast A play from the Brazilian squad, maybe trying to change the pace up a little bit here as they've already got players deep in mid and in that ladder room as well.
Yeah, Olaf's coming back into the window as that smoke fades, but does he realize there's a player up and above? Lucas is waiting. Got to be aware of that short side as well. Olaf going to come back in to check. This could be his death if he's not aware. But Lucas gives away his position with a shot through the plate, and it's going to be at least gain for FaZe Clan knowledge. But does that make them lean further towards B, you might wonder? As Rain gets flashed into the ramp, he gets away with a kill. That's massive. Fallen trades immediately, though, and MIBR, they're surely going to speed things up off the back of that kill. Let the connector player try and work, but Nico spotted him, and he won't let him get out. 2 for Nico. Great stuff on this A site. This has been a pillar of consistency here for FaZe. Nico and Rain able to hold off this position many times. Nico is not done. A 3rd kill once again. That's his 3rd triple kill in the CT side already, and we're only 10 rounds in. Nico making MIBR work for this, and that's another round for FaZe Clan. We're just not having concurrent rounds here, Harry. It's so back and forth, so many force buys. It's the exact kind of game we wanted.
The thing I'm loving as well is how much utility we've seen both Nico and Rain now get out of this default box, right? It's such a strong position in this A-bomb site, especially if you've got those supportive elements nearby to throw in the flashbangs, to throw in that utility to set you up. And well, good night, KNG. He was holding the ramp. He was waiting for that peak. Admittedly, it's only with the scout, but Nico just domes him. And, oh, wow. I love that little replay. My word, dude. We're getting spoiled with the level of production already, mate. We're on the first game of the day.
Nico, he's not going to get any more this time. I was expecting him to kill both players, Harry. I'm not going to lie.
Nico, over in mid. He's dead. Oh, well, you know, it happens to the best of us. 4-on-4 for MIBR, and they're going to take that all day long. They've retrieved the AK from Nico down in middle. And now they're going to go back through T-spawn over here towards this A-bomb site once again. They've been here in what feels like the majority of these rounds outside of the pistol, right? Since the rifles have come in, it's only been these A plays, and every time they've struggled getting past Rain. This time he's here alone, though. Will he be the bane of MIBR again, or are they finally going to break past this man?
He's actually going to give up the site here and play for CT. FaZe opting for a retake. They have not won a retake in this game with the exception of that pistol round. All 3 bomb plants for MIBR have been converted, so this could be a problem for FaZe moving forward. Let's see if they can deal with the pistols and that 1 AK. Rain not spotting anyone on the site, but they are making a lot of noise trying to cross. Luckily enough, Plant's going to be kind of hard to get down. Lucas trying to do it openly, and Fallen has got that cover. Rain going down in CT. Olof's going to move through to try and help, but here's what we talked about. These retakes for FaZe have been rough, and right now they're a man down with no option to get back in. Olof looking for the shot to Fallen, doesn't connect. And FaZe, if only they knew what they were up against. Lucas on 10 HP, Taco only on a deagle, Fallen's got no armor. This is such a winnable round, but that bomb is ticking away, and First found himself another shot, getting Brokey up on Catwalk. That will call the save for FaZe. They're just going to bail out of this site and give MIBR a 4th round. That's all these bomb plants still getting converted for MIBR, so definitely good to see them rushing the plants when they can. Oh, Fallen, man, he is just nailing shots with this scout today. From the 2nd round onwards, he just won't stop.
Wow, yeah, but that's the weird thing. It feels like he's only found success on the scout. In a lot of these buy rounds, you know, he's been struggling. You know, he only had a few kills to his name a few rounds ago. There he gets 3. So hopefully that's a bit of a confidence boost for Fallen.
He actually did go down as well after the round ended, I imagine, to one of those saved weapons. Olof lost his AWP, though, as well. So, you know, there are casualties, at least on both sides of things here for MIBR and FaZe. But MIBR, honestly, they're in a really good position right now. While they're down by 2 rounds, Harry, you know, the money's getting so back and forth. And when you go for these constant forces and start trading rounds, it typically favors the T sides, right? Because you've just got those cheaper guns, that Galil as well, that we're seeing MIBR really abuse in this T side of Mirage. And that is just great to see. Timeout coming to a close here as we get back into the swing of things. And FaZe, for the first time this game, might have to finally start giving away a round, take an eco, and let MIBR catch up. Oh.
Yeah, something that's been very interesting is that FaZe, you know, they're always kind of teetering more over towards this B side of the map. And that round there, it does come back to hurt them a bit. And considering how much we've seen MIBR just opt for these set pieces late into the game, or late into the round rather, over at this A side of the map, finally we see FaZe taking that into account, right? And just stacking everybody here, hoping that MIBR play into their hands. And it looks like they might. Cold versus Taco. Oh, does manage to best him initially, jumping on down, getting out of the danger zone, albeit briefly. And MIBR, they're spotting a lot of bodies here. They're seeing a lot of players inside of this site, but they're dealing with them adequately. Kills coming in. Cold, still alive, still on this Krieg, but he does get put down. Olof's managed to find one with his USP up into Palace, and now as an AK, strong position to be in. The utility is going to have to be very well utilized here for MIBR to keep him out of position, but that smoke goes in, and that is now going to hold Olof back. They've done a good job of minimizing the amount of impact he can have in this position, and yeah, for Olof, he's just got to bow out, right? He's just got to back away, and Lucas does not want to let him hold on to this Krieg. They spot him trying to run the gauntlet, and Olof's still going wide, still trying to take these fights. They double peek into him, and KNG does not let him save today. 3 kills for him in that round there. So the two players who frequently don that AWP over on the MIBR side, finding 3Ks in these last 2 rounds. Bit of a confidence boost. And now we see that first AWP purchased up here over on KNG at least.
Yeah, crazy to think the first T-side AWP coming in at round number 11 here for MIBR, and that just shows how this economy has been rocky road all game long. Olof does have his though to fight back, and let's see if we get that head-to-head battle. He is in middle. KNG just holding towards the connector though, and once again flashing Olof off of this position. He's just going to smoke himself out and safely retreat, give away that mid control to MIBR. FaZe have not been too heavily contesting for this position, and MIBR, they're just going to ditch it as well. They know that FaZe don't have the info, so for all FaZe know, MIBR could be all over mid. Instead, it's back to this B site, and now these heavy B setups that FaZe have been playing round after round are finally going to pay off. We've got Olof here with the AWP and 2 more players behind him.
He's going to give away that that AWP resides here, even tagged up on that re-peek, and they just go running on in. They know they've weakened it, but will they anticipate this heavy setup crossfire between Cold, Brokey, and Olof, and they are holding every single pixel at this point, apart from the one that Fur is in. He's sneaking on in, and no one aware of this. Olof now, he's got so many places to look. He's got to have eyes in the back of his head, but he has gotten rid of Fur. That's going to take some of the pressure away. Still has Brokey as well over on the truck. Do be sure to bear that in mind. MIBR, they're wondering, where's Brokey gone? Where could he be? They think he's in jail, but no, he's repositioned onto the truck. They'll read it well. The Molotov puts him in the prying eyes of KNG. And now, Nico and Rain, these 2 players that have been stellar over at the A side of the map, they've got to try and get FaZe their first retake off, and they will deal with KNG. It's that AWP on Fallen now that's got to show its worth.
Yeah, just this one man alone at the back of the bench, and they have not gained his position either. They have no idea. That bomb's planted for short, so for all they know, he could have been coming late in through middle. Fallen getting that first shot, now going back to the market. Rain's up closer already, and Fallen doesn't realize how close he is. The arm showing though, and Fallen takes it away. Around for MIBR once again. These retakes not happening for FaZe, and it's the AWP on Fallen to close out another, equaling up the score as well, 6-6. But most importantly, breaking the money of FaZe right there. That was such a strong B-site setup for FaZe. They had a 5-on-3 initially, Harry, with Olof getting that kill on the AWP, and then even the player on Catwalk finding one more. Tucking in for a really passive setup, but MIBR do a great job of pulling back those disadvantages, and now we're going to see them really start to streak together on this T side.
It's kind of insane, because outside of the pistol, where obviously they were able to stick that defuse in the retake, since the rifles have come out, the 6 rounds that MIBR have, 5 of them have been with that bomb plant and finding success on the back of it. Not a single retake has come in for FaZe since the pistol, and that's quite a scary stat line to look at. You know, you've been really relying on getting some big impact early and locking MIBR out of these rounds. You haven't been able to rely on these retakes, even when they've gone into it with the man advantage. This round here, the money's broken for FaZe once again, so MIBR surely going to be finding themselves in the lead on the back of it, right? A 7th round looming, man advantage in this round. They've got so much more in terms of firepower. And you deal with Nico's Deagle over in mid. That was the only really threatening thing that FaZe had into this 3-on-4.
Yeah, Taco's already cleared out A as well, so you can see that bomb ditching middle and coming back towards the T-spawn to get that plant and solidify the round. FaZe are not going to be in this one. They're just looking for damage, trying to take guns away and hopefully save some of their own, but no window boost here. Olof's position will be null and void, and Brokey also coming in from the window as well. Can wrap CT, but at this point it is just a formality here for FaZe Clan. Deagle taken, that's something. Might be a gun dropped here in middle. Yeah, there is. Olof's actually managed to gain that quickly, and he's just going to go straight in for the save. May as well keep your money intact. You know this round isn't winnable, and Brokey's got a Zeus. He can hang around, try and get a couple of these frags on the exit. Either way, this is a 7th round for MIBR on the T side of Mirage. A map that, yeah, okay, they've definitely always been keen to play into it. Not one that MIBR is scared of, but at least looking at the stats recently, they've had a bit of a rough time here. Only a 40% win rate in the last 3 months. Whereas you look at FaZe and they have almost double that, up to 70+%. And that really shows a whole lot. But right now...
Yeah, but I think, you know, even looking at them, Hugo, even when you look at the map stats, something that's interesting for me is, you know, FaZe, this used to be one of the home maps for this team, you know, back in the days gone by.
Definitely.
And as of late, we've seen a real reduction in how often they try and pick into it. I think it makes a lot of sense that that's where we've ended up in a best-of-1 series here, right? Because it is kind of that middle ground for these two teams. But yeah, right now, MIBR are going to find themselves in the lead, looking better off when you consider the start that FaZe got to, right? The fact that they were sat with that lead early on. They were 4-1 up at one point in time. This is quite the turnaround from the Brazilian squad here as they now find themselves in the driver's seat. Olof bringing the AWP back out in this round. Nico over in mid, despite not having that scoped rifle. Instead, that's over towards ramp alongside Rain here. They push up, running this buddy system to get ramp control early, and that's because they've given up mid. So they want to try and take a foothold elsewhere, and now they've got Rain in pole position, pushing through T-spawn. The only X factor in this round now for MIBR is maybe Taco could catch someone by surprise, but he's not going to turn back in time to spot this flank. He's not. There's just no timing for it. So Rain could do so much damage. He's gone around the world, and it's a downpour of death up in top mid. He's forced them to have to try and deal with him. Taco now comes back from Palace, and Rain is already on the angle. This flank is stellar for FaZe, and Rain now with 2 kills under his belt. He's fine. He's running back to the 8. Oh, no, he's not. He made it look like he was. He faked it out, and now he's going back on the aggression.
This is what you love to see from FaZe. This is the first aggressive round they've even had on this CT side, and it works wonders, but 3-on-5s have been won already this game, so don't count this T side out. Fur coming in through the connector. His teammates up on catwalk as well. He's making sure that that info is not gained by FaZe. Nice shot from Fallen, but he's down to 2 in the process. 25 seconds for them to get this bomb plant down, and they've lost their lurk on A as well, so just got to double down and commit to this site if you are MIBR. But with a man in the market and another one still unchecked at the back of the site, it's going to make things very difficult. Brokey just needs 1 kill, and there it is. Fallen's down to 2. He's looking to hold onto his AWP, but let's see if Nico even lets him. I'm doubtful. Missed shot, and Fallen playing with fire right now. 4 seconds left, and they are coming from all angles, Harry. He is not getting away with that gun. It will be Rain to take him down, and FaZe Clan able to equal up that scoreline. 1 round left of the half.
Man, Rain actually did Fallen a bit of a solid there, though. There was 1 second left on that timer, and Fallen dies just before time runs out. And, you know, I mean, I don't know if that's the case of, you know, them just believing that the kill was going to come in, because, you know, it was so down to the wire. Like, I thought that was after time, but it wasn't. He was dead, though. Like, Fallen, there's no way he's surviving that, but I guess they just take the kill while they've got it, right? That Molotov was close to running out behind. Fallen wasn't going to be stuck there forever. Not the end of the world, but it really could have been for MIBR. Last round of the first half coming up now, and they've got this weak little buy over on the T side. It's definitely not ideal, right? They've got plenty in terms of the firepower on those Kriegs, right? KNG and Lucas bringing those out, but it's the utility that's lacking. It's the versatility in terms of the fakes and such that you can throw in that they're really going to feel in this round. You can see Fallen selling a bit of a lurk up in the apartments. Fur, in the meantime, has dealt with a player over here on A. And this is now perfect for MIBR, because they were coming into this at quite the disadvantage in terms of the firepower, but they've put this AK to good use. They found a double inside of the A bomb site, and now Olof, all he can do is smoke himself off and just try and play for this retake, something that FaZe, as we've mentioned, have had so much trouble with.
Oh, great luck from Fallen as well. Fur gets a spot. The Colds are up on catwalk, and Fallen just jumps out of the apartments. There's no way that Brokey can get back into this round. All he can do is try. That smoke fading though, and KNG has jumped up, and he will get away with that frag. 8 rounds at the end of the first half for MIBR. They managed to really weather the storm from what was initially a bit of a lead for FaZe Clan, and they turn things around in their favor. That's the end of the first half though. The second will be coming up in just a second.
Let's take it round the world and back again. Ready, let's go. Cause you know, like I know, we'll take it. Yeah. You know, Mark, South Stuff.
That I really felt fine. Now I'm trying to rewind. Cause lately I've been feeling kinda hazy, like I'm stuck in a daydream, and you're not here to save me. Down and out, I hit the floor. All is fair in love and war, but I can't do this anymore, no. Don't take me to a place I know, somewhere I can feel my soul. Lately I'm skin and bone, so hollow. I've never felt so alone. Need you more than you know, 'cause baby, you feel like home. I've been reminiscing the late nights. We'd fall in love in the moonlight and wake up at sunrise. Now I'm just thinking that we should go back to when we were, hold each other to feel good. Down and out, I hit the floor. All is fair in love and war, but I can't do this anymore. No, no. Don't take me to a place I know, somewhere I can feel my soul. Lately I'm skin and bone, so hollow. I've never felt so alone. I need you more than you know, 'cause baby, you feel like home. Take me to a place I know, somewhere I can feel my soul. Lately I'm skin and bone, so hollow.
Well, Counter-Strike is a game of two halves, and we just saw the first one play out. It's very, very even at the end of that first half. 8-7 in favor of MIBR, but I would say don't let that scoreline fool you. I think it was a great start, a great debut from FaZe on this map, right? They go 4-1 up. They were 6-3 up shortly thereafter. But towards the end, MIBR definitely started to feel the pendulum of momentum swinging in their favor.
And let's see where this will go now, moving into the second phase on the T side, and they're going to be moving in from lower. Bomb still back in the T spawn range, setting up utility there for middle. MIBR, they've got a triple setup on this A site as well. That kit on Fallen in the CT spawn to get on the defuse. That's how FaZe managed to pick up their CT pistol with that retake on the A site. And that's how things may pan out for MIBR as well. There's a player under balcony. That's going to be the man to watch out for. But Fallen has already dropped Nico. Olaf coming in from the window, checking out Fur, and he does find that info. So FaZe can try and split in from the palace and take that kill. Rain does it instead. Damage into Fallen. He's had to fall back in the CT spawn. And it will just be kills traded equally here in a 3-on-3.
Oh, Olaf going to remove another in the meantime, and now man advantage residing with FaZe. Lucas going to drop that smoke and try and play behind it. That bomb is on the back of Brokey. And in the bomb site, him and Lucas very close to one another. Taco's done a good job of dodging the danger that lurks in window. That's Olaf there. He's actually going to wrap all the way round in through T-spawn. This is a very lengthy play. MIBR putting a lot of stock in this position that Taco's been able to get. And the longer Lucas wastes on this clock, the more pressure he applies, the more valuable this flank is going to be. While these players are now focused on dealing with Lucas, maybe Taco can come in and find something. He's decided to wrap Palace, and that's because Lucas has communicated that there was a man in here, but Taco's making noise. He's trying to pick up the pace, and that's now led to FaZe leaving the Palace position. Taco will get one, but he's got to do a lot more. His teammate's been brought down within inches of his life, and they almost line up for Cold, but he'll find them both. It feels a little wrong to see coldzera dealing with his old teammates in such a fashion, but he will find both players there at the very end, and FaZe tying things up to start this second half. pretty apt way to start it, considering how close that initial debut from these teams was.
And now I'm really excited to see where these force buys are going to be going, right? If we looked at MIBR's T side, they were getting so many Galils, so many scout force rounds with deagles and armor. Well, let's see if we have the same thing on the CT side. It is going to be the case. You can see those betway odds now favoring FaZe clan, and at 8-8, it's anyone's game still. Nico getting tagged by the scout. It's a 5-man ramp push for FaZe, just looking to brute force their way into the site, and they lose the first man immediately. Third, on the edge of the smoke towards jungle, gets himself one, and there's a boost up as well to stop this plant and stop Olof in his tracks. Nice stuff. Fur finds his second. This is falling apart for FaZe, and all the CTs are here to trade. Taco gonna walk through this smoke as it fades, and Brokey, he needs both kills here if they want to win this round. He's got them as well. Bomb plant can come through, but he's down to 6.
Cold has just helped alleviate a lot of the pressure, though. The only man on full HP for FaZe, striking another from the tally. This isn't an undoable retake for MIBR. It's not impossible, but it's going to require something a little bit ridiculous from one of these two remaining players. Luckily enough, for Fur and Fallen, that is usually their speciality. Fur. Oh my. Fallen. There he is, tagging these players up, but Cold and Brokey, they were very, very ready for that, right? They knew that Cold had full HP, he can sustain a gunfight. Brokey's just tucked away, rather, and then the second that peek comes in onto Cold, that's where Brokey swings wide, helps out, and Cold, or Fallen rather, gets pincered between the two of them.
And that's FaZe back in with another 3-on-5. Harry, add it to the tally. There's been so many won in this map already. 2 and 3v5s, really for both teams as well. So MIBR going to lose a force buy, and they have to go back down to the Deags, give FaZe that double digits here on the T side. They're more than ready to take it. 2 MAC-10s to farm up that cash here. Brokey's going to be taking his out wrap. We've got a full smoke execute coming through for FaZe. That's going to keep Fallen with no information towards this A site. And actually a gamble rotation from MIBR. Will this be going towards B? They'll move 2 through the window. Nico's ready for it though, and he'll find both those kills. FaZe off to a strong start in this round once again. Lucas is going to hear a player jumping above. He should be able to get that kill, but ridiculous drop from Brokey on the ladder. Finds that frag, RNG in his favor, and it's Taco alone now in a 1-on-5. We're looking at double digits for FaZe.
Yeah, that first buy round is looming, though. And one thing I do think it's important to note is if you look on the bottom left of the screen right now, you see that Fallen and KNG have both taken part in saving some extra cash here on the CT side. That can mean that this double AWP becomes a potential for MIBR. Something that they do have up their sleeve, right? As a real tool that can be used to deal some damage, especially moving in to the CT half of this map.
Yeah, that's going to be something that's really scary. We didn't really see FaZe utilize that AWP too heavily in their CT side. They had it on Olof a fair amount, but really a lot of the time it was just the case of MIBR smoking out that window, denying Olof any information, and just leaving him in retakes that he couldn't go for in man disadvantaged situations. He definitely got countered there in that first half. So yeah, MIBR going straight in for the AWPs is going to be a big talking point here. They will buy them both up, Fallen and KNG, armed and ready to go here into this second half. We'll see if FaZe still want to run this bonus. They do. They've still got those 2 SMGs, but lack of head armor not going to be a problem here for MIBR. They've got everything they need as they get into round number 19. Again, a triple B setup here for the CT side. MIBR doing it as well as FaZe, who was so heavy towards that side of the map at the start. But instead, it's just going to be a full A execute from FaZe. No one inside of the site. Another retake setup with 2 AWPs.
Yeah, retaking with this double AWP setup could be a real problem for MIBR. So they're hoping that, you know, someone with these AWPs can find something just to give you that man advantage, because you're also lacking a defuse kit. And there we go. One of the AWPs now chiming in, and the other one following suit. They'll double up, and there is a kill traded back at the very, very least. But, I mean, already, right, this is a great start for MIBR. The 2 problems that they had, the 2 little things that we needed to go their way have almost immediately. And this has slowed down the pace of FaZe, although, yeah, that only applies to 2 of them. It hasn't slowed down Olof, who's now been able to scavenge himself an AWP, and that's quite the upgrade for this guy. Throws away that MAC-10, gets an AWP to play around with. Nico's going to get found there, trying to play around with that bomb, trying to force some of these peaks out from MIBR. It hasn't worked, though, and Brokey, ooh, just about getting down into the bomb site. Olof not quite able to connect over onto short. This is scrappy. This is messy. FaZe 2 on 3. They've got the A site, but they can't get this bomb planted because every time they try, MIBR tear them apart.
Yeah, and it might just happen again. Lucas is coming through Con. He actually stopped Nico through a smoke earlier to get that bomb down on the A site, and he's looking to do it again, but caught from the sidelines. Olof taking down that mid player. They know the CT is under control, and taking the fight is Brokey, but he's just dropped the bomb with 10 seconds left. He had to stick that with the cover from Olof, but now it's left Olof in it once again, an undoable clutch for FaZe. Gonna have to be a save on that AWP. Oh, I would have loved to see Brokey stick that bomb plant there. Obviously not aware that both players are in CT necessarily, but you know, the only chance you win that round is if you get the bomb down, and Lucas just did such a good job of denying that for FaZe Clan, delaying the plant. I can't believe he got a kill to a full smoking connector as well from Catwalk. That was everything for MIBR, and they get away with the AWP as well. At least one of them. The other, obviously, as you said, taken by Olof, and FaZe will be buying up around it for the next round. But first, a quick tactical pause to discuss.
Yeah, they want to try and make sure everyone's on the same page here. They're only just narrowly holding on to this lead, and you don't want to give MIBR a means of getting back in. They'll be fully investing here for the T side. But obviously that loss bonus getting dwindled on down the more rounds MIBR, sorry, as a result of that 3-0 start, you know, you're not looking at much here if you're FaZe. So if you don't win this round, only going to be getting what? 1900. So always a chance that that eco is just on the horizon, and that could very much be MIBR's olive branch back into this map, right? They're hot on the heels of FaZe. They're catching up. Make no mistake about it. And now into this round, FaZe setting up once again just to go for this A-side set piece. They seem to believe that it had the results they wanted in that last round, and so they're looking to run it again. Fallen this time. Not back in CT, not passive, gets one from the triple box, and now just falls back behind this smoke, trying to use it as a bit of a one-way. Goes jumping over, gets the information as to how many players are here, spots that bomb as well, and so the rotations are already arriving for MIBR. 3 players knocking on the door, another kill coming in from this MP9 as Fur doubles up, and it's only Olof left once again. He'll get put down in the ground, and there it is, the equalizer found for MIBR.
I love how MIBR constantly are playing these retake setups with no one inside of the site, but they're never letting FaZe get any room inside of A. Fallen, pushing triple, getting that frag, falling back, and as you said, he gets all that information, jumping on top of tickets. He's 3 players and the bomb. That's everything MIBR need to fully rotate and have the players on that A site, but for getting the kills before the rotations even came through, splendid stuff with that MP9. There's the doubling up. There's the 10 rounds found by MIBR. And as you said, Harry, no loss bonus here for FaZe. They're back to the pistols. This AWP really showing up now for MIBR on this defensive side, something that Olof really just couldn't get going. We're going to need one for FaZe at least if they want to try and counter that out, and they will have the money moving forward. But right now, just pistols in the apartments and already bailing from them. Cold's up in Palace, hoping that someone gets aggressive and gives him a frag here, but MIBR not bringing in much CT progression, or aggression rather. FaZe only threw in that one push down ramp from Rain in the entire CT side. Other than that, they forego in middle and didn't really even flank apps. So this is a extremely passive defensive side really throughout the game. But when you're up against pistols, there's no reason to really give away frags here for MIBR. Wait for them to come to you, and FaZe, they definitely will. 3 in the Palace with that bomb, looking to waterfall out mid, out A after this run boost in mid, and Rain's going to be joining them in the connector.
Fallen. Not able to deal with the con players, but the rest of the team certainly are. He'll even catch the guys as they try and waterfall out from Palace. And, well, it's not gone the way that FaZe would have liked. It's only Cold left. He's gone as well, mate. Everyone's fallen. And it's MIBR taking the lead, 11-10 now. I tell you what, man, neither one of the... Like, do these two just hate the B bomb site? I feel like, you know, we saw, like, 3 B plays come in that first half. And then that was it. Everything's just been ending with these A-side executes. That was one thing I noted, you know, in those first 3 rounds, it was nice because it felt like FaZe, they were more playing that default early. They were finding a couple of kills here and there. And a lot of those decisions seem to be very mid-round, right? Like very calls very much made on the fly based on what they've been able to establish. But here, it's just been a lot of these set pieces over towards A. This round, another investment back in from FaZe, and I'm hoping this is where we see them maybe make a return to that. But right now, with a lot of players stacked up over on ramp and one man out in middle, this feels like it could culminate back towards this A side of things. Olof getting tagged up by those nades, however, that might be enough to deter FaZe.
And we finally got players inside of the site here as well on A. Lucas is sitting default, ready and waiting as FaZe set their players out through ramp again, just going for contact, not even lining up utility right now. And Lucas needs to be careful. He doesn't have any kind of support right now. Peeking out wide, there's the info, gets tagged though, and now he can get swung on by Nico, who's up in the palace, but Fallen finds him first, in from the window. FaZe losing one leg of their split and another one going down as well, with Cole getting caught by Lucas jumping up on top of the boxes. Right now, FaZe are stuck in a stalemate. Nowhere to go, nowhere to hide. They're just going to bail from this site. And in the meantime, we've got this flank. Taco has pushed all the way in through the B apartments. This only gains more information, more real estate for MIBR. And if FaZe want to go back towards B, they've got to get through this aggressive position first.
Oh, Taco. The menace. He just drops a Molotov and runs away. They think they've got him trapped, but now conceding the lower tunnel's control. Taco's going to re-emerge here. Out into middle he goes, looking to get this trade, but they're not going to offer it up. They're not going to give it his way. And so he just has to now go back passively in towards this side of the map. There's only 10 seconds left, so this is the round for MIBR. FaZe, this is looking dangerous now, right? They come into this second half, they win the pistol, they get the rounds on the back of it, and they see themselves in the lead, but albeit very, very briefly. Now it's MIBR in the driver's seat, taking the last 4 in a row. The money's becoming a problem for FaZe again, and you just save those 2 weapons, right? So they kind of have no real choice other than to invest heading into this round. And this could be the thing that starts to see this one go in favor of MIBR, right? FaZe, you really need to have a return on this investment here. Because if you don't, this one, it's starting to feel a little bit far gone.
And where do you think they're going, Harry? Where do you think they're going to take this scrappy force?
If I had to guess, mate, Hugo, they've only gone towards A. I'm imagining we might see that again. This time, the A Palace waterfall. 3 players trying to get out. And the only difference in this round is finally the kills have been found for FaZe. Fallen does manage to get one back. A 3-on-4 as they come in for the retake. MIBR, are they going to give this one a look in? I
like that change up from FaZe, right? Just moving ahead of MIBR, not letting the smokes telegraph their play, just running out through Palace. Now Fallen, he's got to do it all in the site with the AWP. Gets one, but Nico is hiding in the smoke, and he's going to hear that retreat. He knows there are 2 players in CT here for MIBR, and that bomb is ticking fast. Taco out in the open, gets that kill. They can just jump on the bomb if they want. This mid-split's coming through, but the bomb's planted default. Olof is the only man who can stop this, and they're already on the defuse, tapping away. The pistol does it, and that's just going to be the round. Fallen will surely go down with this bomb. He's going to try and stick it at the end, but Brokey should have his number, and he doesn't, but the bomb certainly saves the day. FaZe able to pick it up after all.
It got a little worrying there for a moment. It got a little bit worrying, but yeah, it is an 11th round secured for FaZe, and we were saying how important that one was. They put everything they had into it, right? And so, you know, you still see the effects of that monetary situation here for the T side. You still feel that heading into this round. You could already see Mac 10s getting purchased up on Rain. Olof, he doesn't even have enough for an AK.
All right, boys, so just jumping in here with a quick tactic. These double orbs have been difficult to deal with. I want to focus on Fallen here, and KNG is going to be coming on through. FaZe have really been struggling with this in the early rounds. You're going to see Fallen, he's going to get smoked on off, still going to get a chance to push on forward. Grabs a kill onto Nico there, and he jumps on back through the smoke. We had an earlier gun round as well from these guys, where they were able to get 2 kills through the smokes, one from Fallen there, and one from KNG as well. This is something that FaZe have to be able to lock on down if they want to be able to get more rounds on the board. So back to the Goonies with the cast.
We love that. Thank you very much for his timeout tactics.
I'm so glad that we got this. By the way, like that was a debut of something that's been in the works for a while, and it's real special. We're gonna have more of them as the event goes on. A little timeout, not only for the players, but a chance for Chad to help us digest some of the moves that have been going on in the game.
That's going back to that previous round, right? Such an important one for FaZe. We had all these scrappy force buys from MIBR that really got them in a good spot on this T side. Well, now FaZe are going to keep this pace rampant again, back to a B rush. Taco here on the car. That molly's going to hit him in a few seconds, but he doesn't realize Rain's crossed right by him. They're next to each other, side by side. The molly eventually kills Taco. He can't get out of the car in time, and now this AWP in on the retake. Fallen waits for no one, going right through the smoke. The bomb is down, and we've got to boost up as well on the site. FaZe have so many numbers here. Fallen with a shot. Great connection back into a 3-on-3, and he knows that Rain's behind the bench as well. Takes him through the wall. 3-on-2. MIBR might have just found a saving grace, and it's all off the back of this man. Fallen with a third, and Olaf stuck in the apartments. Nowhere to go, nowhere to hide. A wrap coming in as well, and first sealed the deal. It's a retake for MIBR. Fantastic stuff. This is the Fallen we want to see here, Harry.
I've taken an earphone off. I'm cast this with one earphone on because I want to hear the yelling that's going on in the room across the way. They are being loud. Fallen with 3 huge kills, and MIBR back in pole position. There's no money over on this FaZe side. Do they give up a 14th? Do they take a partial investment here and not have a massive chance at finding success? Or are they going to invest? Are they going to try and throw this in? I think that's one of the conversations you really start having during these timeouts, especially with the Krieg and Famous price reductions. Not Krieg, rather. The Galil and Famous. Thank God, not the Krieg.
Yeah, don't make it any cheaper. Jesus.
The Galil price reduction. I feel like, we've already seen it tempts teams to go for these force buys a lot more than maybe they traditionally would have. FaZe, though, they don't want to favor that. Instead, they will just take that partial investment. They're not looking to put everything into this round. And I think that's the right decision to make, right? This double AWP, it's been causing them problems, it's been throwing issues their way, and I don't think Galil's would have been the answer. Instead, they're going to look to bring out everything they need in this next round and just take pistols and armor here.
That's going to leave FaZe fighting for a 5-round comeback in a row if they don't want to hit overtime or a potential loss, though, in this first map. If they could win this eco, that would be incredible, but you can't really hold out for that with some of the shots we're seeing connect here for MIBR and Fallen specifically. Now, that second AWP in as well. KNG over towards his B bomb site has not been smoked off, so he's going to have an open season, but smoke finally landing and his first opportunity gone with the win. KNG can't repeat the effects of Fallen running through the smoke, and now it is FaZe finding 2 kills and the site under their control. Those are big weapons to pick up in the post plant. An AWP now on this B site, and MIBR, they want nothing to do with it. They know the money is in a rocky territory right now, and they are just going to give FaZe 12. That is a huge eco win for FaZe. If they lost that, they would have been fighting for a flawless T-side to close out the game. Well, now they've at least got that lifeline still in their back pocket. And so much money off the back of that eco win as well, right? 2K saved, plus 2 guns picked back up. And I mean, the rest of these pistols, they may as well go hunting. They may as well look out, because if you can take a couple more guns away from MIBR, you can really handicap that future buy.
I think another thing that's important to bear in mind is obviously one of the big storylines coming into this, we spoke about it a lot, it was Coldzera versus MIBR. And one of the things that they spoke about over on the desk is how when it does become more personal, when there's kind of those connections there's a bit more on the line, it's it can have an effect. And, Coldzera is someone who has been so good on this FaZe squad, especially as of late, right? The real powerhouse of this team has felt like him and Nico at times, with, Olaf looking good on the AWP as well. But here, in this match right now, he's sat down bottom of the board for FaZe Clan. And this is where, you feel like if you're him, you could start to get in your head a little bit. If he can resurge, if he can find his confidence, I think there's still time for FaZe to turn this around, because Nico having a stellar game right now, him and Brokey there going to combine down in the lower tunnels to pick up the mountain advantage for FaZe in this round.
That was a great flashbang as well from FaZe. It forced Fallen off the angle and let them set up with 2 players holding that cubby. Fallen peeking into a double setup is never going to get away with more than 1 there, and he doesn't even get the first. So how do MIBR respond? They want to bring some aggression into the mix. We've seen these ramp pushes before, and this time it will be successful. Cold has just walked away from holding this angle, but he is still at the back of Palace. He can swivel, can keep his eyes on that back line. MIBR not wanting to overstep the mark here and go deep inside of the spawn. They'll just leave Fur in position as Lucas backs off to the site, aware of that Palace position as well. But smoking the connector, FaZe feigning a bit of a B play, but it is only that window boost with the bomb coming in late. Here's a bit of an issue. Rain could get cut off. If he comes in through the ramp and doesn't check this hard left corner, then this is going to fall apart for FaZe Clan. The time is already low, and Fur should have the element of surprise. Great check from Rain, but it's not going to be enough. Fur dropping that bomb, and with Lucas holding onto the Palace as well, FaZe have got to run.
And you can hear the alarm bells, right? They're ringing. You can hear the wah, wah, because FaZe, they've got to get that bomb. They've got to get it back under control. And right now, MIBR, they're not looking to give it up. A massive kill from Cold onto Fur. Olaf caught, though. And now the A site, they had control. But had is the operative word. It's in the past. Cold Zera, 1v2, 10 seconds. And KNG is going to put him in the ground. 4 kills for Taco and KNG in that 2 versus 3 there. And a 14th now for MIBR. That there might be the straw that breaks the camel's back for FaZe Clan. There's no money left apart from on Brokey and Olaf. It's a really weird spot to be in, right? Like, looking at this money, you could bring into this round, in theory, 2 AKs, an AWP, and then 2 Galils. You know, just try and juggle it around, maybe even better than that. Or you give up match point to MIBR, go with a partial investment here, maybe a couple of hero weapons on Olaf and Brokey, and then look for an overtime. I'm not anticipating that's the decision that's made, but with how this purchase is looking, it actually might be. Yeah, hero weapon on Brokey, Olaf taking the eco utility purchased up. They're hoping that Brokey can do it all, but that is a lot of pressure to put on such a young man's shoulders.
They have won an eco before, right? Just a couple of rounds ago on that B rush, so it could be the answer for FaZe, but right now 3 outside of A, so not looking like the case. Brokey has got to be the man to step up right now, and I mean, 2 players highlighted by the desk as being, you know, some of the best round closers we have in this game. Fallen and Fur, man, they are destroying right now. 22 and 23 kills per player. Nico, the only man on FaZe above 20 as well. So let's see if anyone can come and join him in this round. It's a fast A play, great shot from Rain. We know what he's like with these pistols, and Fallen has been taken out of the server. Boost up, gonna get checked, and Brokey gets away with that kill. He's low, but he can hand off the gun to another player, and Nico has now taken that. FaZe can just sit back and relax. They've got a 5-on-3, no rush, and I think Nico's just seen Fur. He's got the info, quick peek, but the lack of armor, the aim punch, it comes back to bite him. Brokey might want to try and pick that gun back up, but Taco's actually moved in from the top of mid, and that makes things a little bit difficult here. That smoke allowing KNG to cross, and FaZe have got to keep their eyes on it, because only with pistols here on this A site, the rifles are going to be very hard to deal with. Fur doesn't realize there's a second player there, but he gets rid of the AWP and his teammate covers his back, holds Zero alone, and despite the 5-on-3, MIBR turn it around immediately.
Yeah, I don't think it was intentional, but that ended up being the best bait ever from Fur up on the stairs, right? Goes running over, doesn't realize that there's a player down beneath him, and KNG just, in the moment that the man in Sandwich, who had been holding that CT cross the whole time, goes looking up to check the stairs angle, he gets caught from the CT peak. So MIBR, that there is going to see them reaching match point now, 15-12 FaZe. They need 3 in a row if they want to get this one to overtime. And, well, the most amount of rounds we've seen them get in a row this entire game is 3, so they've got to try and do that once again.
Easier said than done. Taco, he has had a bit of a rough game when it comes to the kills, but he has been taking a lot of position here for MIBR on the CT side. Lots of B apartments pushes. We've seen him towards the top of mid, etc., and really just making this game a nightmare for FaZe Clan with the information he's gaining, these early rotations off the back of MIBR. 15-12, and FaZe doing everything in their power to stay in this game. Rain's been spotted in the connector. Gonna just have to smoke this off. Doesn't want to go down to that AWP sitting in CT spawn. And Fur, what a ballsy play. Pushed all the way up from underpass. He might find 2 here. Olaf not getting checked. And Fur is going to get away with that kill. But does he realize he's being hounded? Coming in from the back is Brokey. He needs his trade right here, right now. And he does get it. Fur not escaping back into middle. FaZe at least make it a 4-on-4.
Oh, but KNG, in response to having a man so deep, in response to having Fur pushed up, has now gone on some aggression of his own and is holding for this cross. He's only going to do a lick of damage onto Brokey. Really not much to feel bad about there if you're FaZe. You're able to dodge that AWP. And also, they get the information that they've left apps, but for FaZe, that's kind of been a driving force now to head towards this side of the map, but there's still 2 players here. Nico, spotted over on Catwalk, still makes quick work of Lucas. Fallen's not... Oh, my word! KNG flicking up into the apartments. Taco's shut down too, and this was looking so good for FaZe, but now that is not the case. Somehow, some way, MIBR, they managed to turn that around. They get the victory under their belt, and they're going to start things off here with a win at the